Hello, hello. This is Yuri with Moving Sales Professionals and Let's Talk Moving podcast. And with me today, I have Matthew Caruso with Ping Zebra Moving. How you doing today?
Good. How are you, Yuri?
Good, good, good. Thanks for jumping on. So, how did you get started in the moving industry?
Did some moving back in high school and college, so I'd say that's how I got started. But took a different path. Worked for a large corporation, enterprise software sales, and always have wanted to do something more on the consumer side, something more entrepreneurial. Recently, joined through route of the franchise, but joined Pink Zebra Moving, which is a growing franchise, one of the faster growing moving companies in the country.
How big is the franchise? How big is Ping Zebra Moving?
We're up to about 15 locations now, but the oldest location is less than 2 years old. So I'm on the newer end, going through my first moving season here, but the veterans have been around. They're in their second moving season.
Okay, okay. So, what brought you to the whole idea of joining Ping Zebra Moving? What was the appeal of the franchise?
Biggest thing was customer experience. So even in any companies that I've worked throughout my career, the idea of offering great customer service, being able to differentiate that way, and then even more so the customer experience. So not just necessarily the reactive service when things go wrong, but being able to make things fun, make things exciting, give people different surprises along the way, and putting that into an industry where a lot of people are miserable when they have to move. They're stressed out, they're dreading it, they've had bad experiences in the past. So, really being able to join a franchise and a brand that really cares about our customers and wants to surprise them in a positive way.
All right, no, that's awesome. Now, like you said, you're new to the industry. So what do you feel that's new and different that you can bring to the table versus other companies in the franchise zone for Pink Zebra Moving or just your competitors in general in Boston area?
Sure. And I think the claim that we make moving fun. So that's something that sure everybody talks about creating a stress-free experience or trying to do things like that. But really trying to make customers smile. So that's what I say to all my employees when I interview them. We try to get the right people that we know are going to do that. So how do we do that? Definitely through those customer interactions and even some surprises. I mean, sometimes we know people are busy, they're tearing their kitchen apart. So we may call up and or ask if they want a pizza for the night that they're moving. Leave a surprise package. We do our quotes, get to know the people. Sometimes we can see something and even be able to personalize that based on their interests or what they're into. So all the way along the way, it's about really trying to get to know our customers on a different level, try to give them some surprises and try to make the experience as fun as possible for them.
And now for a word from our sponsors. If you're a moving business owner, you may have already heard of Moversville, an email marketing service that helps moving companies increase, repeat, and referral business. But have you heard of Moversville Connect? Moversville Connect is an incredible resource for all things moving. They feature an array of vendors and services that cater specifically to the moving industry. You can find companies that provide moving software, moving sales services, marketing services, moving equipment providers, and much, much more. Visit moversville.com today to learn more. No, that's awesome. No, you definitely want to make sure you take unique and take a personal approach, especially if you're new to an area or whatever the case may be. Now, of course, the name Pink Zebra Moving is unique enough. So, why, just out of curiosity, what's the story behind that? What's the story behind Pink Zebra Moving?
Yeah, just being fun and different and standing out. There's Zeke Zazzle, who is kind of leaning in. You can see his mouth behind me, but zebras are interesting. They stick together as a pack. They protect people by being able to be in their dazzle, which is actually a group of zebras, which is pretty interesting too. So the fact that they kind of stick together in the herd and then also stand out when you see a zebra walking around, you're going to turn your head, especially when you see a pink one.
Okay, so I got an interesting idea for you. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe somebody else does something similar, but with a name like that, I'd almost want to check with one of those like animal charities and see if there's a way to like adapt or adopt a zebra and actually
Sure.
have like a camera somewhere where you can access it on your website and people can actually see how the zebras are doing, like a local zoo or something like that. That would
Yeah,
be
we
a pretty
could
neat
get
thing
a
to do, right? I mean, if you guys don't have anything like that already, just a thought that popped in my head. I just thought it would be pretty kind of cool, you know?
yeah, could get a real Zeke zebra instead of just the mascots that are roaming around the country right now.
Hey, that's a way to, once again, that's also a way to support charity, maybe support a local, like a Boston. I'm sure there's a Boston Zoo. I don't know if they have zebras, but
Sure.
that's a way to support your local area too. And once again, that's a way to attract and maybe there's like if you can make that type of a connection, maybe even have people that can contribute to feeding a zebra or contribute to the local zoo. That
Sure.
could be
I
a nice
like it.
connection.
I'll make some calls after I'm off the line with you.
I just had a thought. I'm just like you're talking about it. I'm like, oh, that could be interesting.
Sure.
Does your company need more creative marketing and ad campaigns to improve traffic and organic leads? Well, Moving Sales Professionals has a solution for you. We have partnered with social media marketing agency that has over 300 million views on their ads and videos across social media, and they have generated over $35 million for their clients over the last 10 years alone. Their services include content creation, social media ads, pay-per-click campaigns, website and funnel development, Google Ads, email marketing campaigns, lead generation, and much, much more. For limited time only, they have discounted rates for their services. Sign up for a free consultation call with us via our Calendly link on our website or below this video. But yeah, I mean, anything you want to do that's unique, like now, like you said, you're in your first season, so what are some of the challenges that you're facing? Because this year is certainly not what we've seen in the past for those of us that have been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, our franchise has been around, or franchise for less than 2 years now. So when we look ahead, we're talking to people who have been in the industry one more year. Obviously, network with others in the industry, but it's interesting because when you're starting your own business, every day, every week, every month seems like an eternity. So for us, this is what we're used to. I can't really look back and say it's not like it was 5 years ago or during COVID when everybody was moving. For us, it's really about trying to make sure we're creating that awesome customer experience, that people are giving us good reviews, good feedback, starting to give us referrals, and being able to grow that way. So I think from a positive standpoint, we've been pretty well received. We've been able to build relationships. We're already starting to get repeat business from real estate agents, from people who we've moved, who are referring their friends and family. So definitely able to kind of develop our niche there. And we're hopeful. Like, yeah, it is challenging. I think we're right in the city of Boston. We're near BU, Harvard, a bunch of colleges around here, Northeastern, where I went. So we've got kind of that activity for the smaller moves, but it really is a lot of effort. It takes those kind of personal relationships that we're finding to be able to get more of the larger homes. And they're not going to always even just Google and go to the first person they see. They're going to want some kind of a referral from their agent, their mortgage broker, their friends and family, or using somebody that they've used in the past to move.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You definitely want to make sure you create that separation, especially as a new company. You want to draw more, and I mean, would you say that you're taking advantage? I mean, obviously it's early, but would you say that you're taking advantage of social media opportunities? Are there opportunities that you feel that are out there for you? Well, what are you doing with the marketing?
Yeah, I think a big thing, and we've got decent presences because obviously we have the national brand in our headquarters down in Birmingham, and then we've got each of the franchises has their own social media that we're running to in conjunction with that. So it's been good. I do have, unfortunately, I've kind of started out and my Instagram wasn't connected properly. I think I'm going to have to scrap it and start from scratch, which is frustrating as a new business. For me, it's about really making it personal, not necessarily doing what everybody else is doing. I mean, one big example, if you check out our, and I'll make sure it's up on the new one when I repost that, but you check out our Instagram. We're located right above I-90 here in Boston and the Allston Brighton area. Zeke, who's behind me during all of the playoff games for the Bruins and Celtics, was out above I-90 waving a Bruins or Celtics flag to get people excited for the games each time there was one, and it's been a lot of fun. It's tough to look at a giant pink zebra with a sports flag and not smile. I'd say in those cases where we're measuring our interactions by honks instead of clicks or
Right.
likes, but yeah, it's just been really amazing. I've done it myself. Some of the movers, my branch manager, have done it, but just getting out in the community and making
So it's
people
Zeke the
smile.
zebra.
Zeke the zebra. That's right.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we got a video. One of my friends does drone photography. So one time when we were out, have Zeke kind of over the highway there, getting people psyched before the Celtics and throughout their run to the championship.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, once again, with you obviously being new, we're talking about that a lot. So there's a lot of growth that takes place, a lot of, I'm sure, growing pains, just like with everybody else. What would you recommend for new companies starting out?
It's a good question. I'm asking those same questions, but it's one of those tough things. I think I found just the industries I'm used to working in tech recruiting, which I came from, working in a large software company with LinkedIn and Microsoft. The margins are something you really got to kind of keep an eye on. But at the same time, when you're new, the revenue is the most important thing, trying to get your name out there. It's much harder to try to squeeze out margins when you don't have any revenue. So
Right.
I think it's that balancing act between trying new things, trying to see what works, being willing to take risks, make sure you plan for that, and make sure you have kind of enough money set aside so that you can do that. Because if you're in a position where you're kind of getting desperate, you can't put the marketing dollars, you can't try different things, whether it's mailers, in-person marketing, referral marketing. You really want to be in a position where you can at least give each of those efforts a fair chance and see what works. A lot of times it's not what you most expect that are gonna give you the best results.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it would have to be once again about building those relationships. So getting your name out in the community, whether it's a local church or like I said, you're doing stuff with the sports teams. And if that's drawing enough traffic, who knows? Maybe one of those sports teams will reach out to you too. So that could be an interesting thing. But that's certainly getting yourself out like that. I think it's the first one. I haven't heard of too many moving companies trying to get themselves aligned with the sports that are going on in the area. And of course, everybody that talks to me knows that I'm a big sports guy growing up in Pittsburgh. So, and
Sure.
hockey, of course, is my number one. So with myself playing and my kid playing, so it's, we're definitely involved
Yeah.
in the sports, so it's nice to hear that.
Yeah, especially in big sports communities, and it's what I enjoy. I can be passionate. I'm a big Celtics fan here. I definitely promote the Boston sports here. So being able to combine those passions, I think it comes out to people versus just kind of doing things because everybody else is doing it. Other thing
Yeah,
I'd say too, for those, I'm sure you have a lot of people following your podcast or maybe looking into different industries, looking into moving companies.
sure.
As you mentioned, kind of a tough market right now where there's not just a ton of activity within housing. So I think the main thing is if you're looking at it, it really isn't one of those businesses we found with like just pay-per-click marketing and stuff. We're getting kind of a lot of small moves. We're not getting those large moves from those
Right.
efforts. So I think if you're going to get in, you want to be unique, you want to build those relationships and not just think, okay, I can just put the right stuff online and then I'm going to get a bunch of like $3, $4 million homes coming into me. Because that's
Well, I
usually
don't
the way
know. For you
it
guys,
works.
I would recommend checking out postcards. So
Yeah,
I
we've been doing that.
certainly,
So
yeah, I'm certainly, I know I have met Greg with USA Home Listings personally, so he's a great guy, and he certainly has a great business model. So it's definitely a
yeah, and
way.
things like that. We've had mailer campaigns going out to $1 million plus listings
Mhm.
within certain geography, and yeah, it's one of those things. My father listed his house. They just moved. My mother and father moved a couple months ago, but yeah, they the first week I think he got 20 mailers. So I think
Mhm.
even then you want to just make sure you're differentiating yourself so you know.
Right. Well, with a name like Pink Zebra and Zeke over there, I'm sure it's enough to draw attention. It's kind of like basic. It's like piece of cake in New York City, but
Yep.
Boston has a big enough building, so I don't know if you guys put the name on top of the truck like piece of cake
Hmm.
did, but that would be a good attraction as well too.
Yeah, our trucks are pink striped white trucks, so you'll see them in a crowd. And I think piece of cake. I was hoping the Knicks did better. They're connected to the Knicks there and have great social media campaigns. So was hoping we could have had a little pink moving company battle if the Knicks had made it to the conference finals against the Celtics. But maybe
That could
next
be
year.
interesting. That could be interesting. But then if that's the case, you guys would have to get in line. They got a long line of people that want a piece of cake. That's for sure.
Yeah, lived in New York for 8 years myself, so yeah, always up for a little rivalry.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But anyway, Matthew, great. Thank you very much for joining us. This was fun. Let's do this again at some point, and maybe we can do some sales for you guys in the future. But we will put some links here below. Please like, please subscribe, please support Pink Zebra Moving in Boston area. And once again, as I always say, the world moves on its own, so let the professionals move yours for you. Thank you very much for joining us for this podcast, and we'll talk to you soon.